It's so funny watching your SNL skit again with Jon Hamm. Like, I was just viewing it again, and it's so ironic that in that skit he was calling you bubbly. And just the mispronunciation of your name has just become this like comedy in itself.
Well, I think that's where it came from. I actually think that no one said that directly, but I believe that the writers were influenced by that. Because I remember getting the first pitch now 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember the second that I saw the first scripted pitch, I was like, oh, this is, yeah, of course, this is great. This is amazing.
You do have this natural sense of humor. I mean, people can read right through it. It's just who you are. It's just so authentic and it comes out so organically. And that seems to be something that these ads really like to take advantage of. So is that always intentional, or do you sort of get to have that say? Because like you said, you've been working with them for 3 years now. So what has that process been like?
Well, even at the start, it was very different than a lot of corporations you work with, especially the big kind of corporate gigs that you get. Because usually they tell you this is what it is and either yes or no. And with Pepsi, it was never like that. They were always open to my ideas, and they wanted to make sure that I was myself. And so a big part of being Canadian, it's not about being me. It's, we have a great sense of self-deprecating humor. And I think that if we look at people, like we look at our favorite Canadians, people like Ryan Reynolds or Seth Rogen, there's always that sense of kindness. Even if I go back to someone like John Candy, he could be edgy, but there was always this sense of kindness and compassion that allowed for you to laugh with the person. And then they weren't afraid to laugh at themselves. And so I think that was just sort of a natural part of where I come from and who I am. And it was a joy to make fun of the name, as usual.
Yes.
And a beautiful bonus to actually really like the product.
Yeah.
A nice thing when you have to talk about something or be part of marketing something. It's nice when you actually use it in your home.
Today is such an important day. It's Bell Let's Talk Day. I absolutely love the video you shared, but I'll be honest, when I saw you watering that plant, I was a little worried because I was like, he's overwatering it. But it's such a beautiful, beautiful ad. And you're part of that campaign. Why is it so important that we continue to talk about these conversations and continue to have these conversations, especially seeing the time that we are in right now?
Yeah, well, I think you've answered your own question. Obviously, mental health is something that is a massive issue in all of our lives. And I think through this pandemic, a lot of us realized that maybe we're all a little more vulnerable than we thought we were. I think there's a lot of people out there that really didn't ever think about mental health or that they could ever have an issue. And all of a sudden this came and it sort of filled our whole world with a sense of anxiety and dread. And I think people realized how fragile their mental health was. And I think that it's such a lovely thing to be able to shine an even brighter spotlight on something that affects so many of us, young and old. It doesn't matter where you come from. And so the second I got asked to do it, I was so excited. I think I returned the email within seconds to say yes, whatever they want, whatever they need. I didn't even understand at first. I didn't even understand the concept, and I just said, "Yep, let's do it."
Jon Hamm, going back to him, he's a fan of the Chiefs, who are, of course, playing the Buccaneers. Do you care who's in the actual Super Bowl? Is there someone that you're actually rooting for?
I'm friends with a wonderful actor named Eric Stonestreet. People might know him from Modern Family. He's a massive Kansas City Chiefs fan, and so I always cheer for him because it brings me a lot of joy to know that how much it means to him. Yeah, so during the games and stuff, it's really cool because I'll just write him and I'm sort of sharing his joy and tell him to soak it all in. So I think I'm cheering for Eric more than I'm cheering for anything else. Even if you're not a football fan, getting to watch Tom Brady, weirdly to say, the winningest quarterback in the history of the NFL, to be the underdog is amazing against a kid like Patrick Mahomes, who's this incredible quarterback and an incredible team. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I'm going to go and research all those names that you just mentioned because I know nothing about football.